Good morning to you. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Today I want to answer a couple questions that were on a post of ours, a Taming the Wild Facebook post. And just thought I'd just kind of pick through it to see if I can help solve a little bit of a riddle as to what's occurring here with this particular dog. Okay, so what was written in was this. I have a 2-year-old German Shepherd that I've been training for scent work for ammunition detection. And she was doing well until I had to move about a year ago. And when I did, I had to board my dog for 2 weeks for my oldest dog. When I got her to the house and started running the scent work again, she started becoming very aggressive whenever she was around the scent of ammunition, to the point that she would tackle anyone trying to hold anything with the scent odor on it, running around them, being crazy, being frenetic. She even destroyed a couple of pistols when they were brought in from being out on the shooting range. If she smells it, even fireworks, it takes 2 people to grab her at times to pick her up and bring her in the house. Okay, so here we go. A couple things on that right off the bat. Sounds like you're dealing with your own fireworks. So we might want to get this thing under control before it explodes. There's a lot of things happening here. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and discount the 2 weeks of boarding with the oldest dog. That's just another one of those situations there where we humans cannot stand the absence of logic. So it had to have been something. So what was different? What was different than the norm? I've got my dog, I'm doing scent work, teaching my dog how to detect ammunition. And when it comes to explosive detection dogs, that could be really anything. That could be smokeless powder, black powder, Pedin, RDX, C4, TNT, whatever it is that you want to teach your dog to detect. All of those are just one of those. But either way, her dog boarding for 2 weeks with her oldest dog, I'm going to strike that out. I don't think that's relevant here. I just think that's us trying to park something in that void of logic. We're trying to figure out if the dog was doing fine, then it boarded, and then all of a sudden I moved to a new house and it's not doing so well, it's suddenly becoming aggressive, then yeah, it had to have been the boarding. Well, I don't think so in this case here. And I'm also going to change the term aggressive because from everything that was written here, it doesn't appear that the dog's trying to bite someone, attack someone. No, it sounds like we have a super frenetic, frantic, out of control dog who really wants to find that ammunition object, that object that has that scent of the ammunition on it. As far as tearing up the 2 pistols, that's object play, baby. It's object play. And I'll get to that in a second as to why that's occurring there. But a couple things. When it comes to detection work, first of all, this is one of my favorite things to do. I love tracking. I'll be going over a series. Hopefully I'll start that by the end of this week. Doing about 3 or 4 day tracking session with you guys. Because I love nose work. It is so natural. It is so wolf-like. I just love it. But let me kind of put a couple things out there to you so you kind of understand what's going on here. Remember, anytime we have a problem, stop, freeze for a moment, and go over the 3 main things that you have to cover. Number 1, what is the proximate cause of the behavior? You have to, just throw out a hypothesis out there. You get to guess at it. So get to guess it. Write down a bunch of guesses. What do you think it is? Was it the boarding? Was it being with my oldest dog? Was it moving to the new house? What could it possibly be? And then write down, how did the behavior evolve? And of course, she kind of wrote 2 weeks, boarded, so on and so forth, moved to a new house. How did it evolve? Yes, write those down. And then ask yourself a third question. Does this behavior that my dog's doing, does it have survival value? Because again, as I mentioned in previous videos, if it has survival value, that is something that the animal's going to pay more attention to, going to try harder to learn, will retain it longer than anything else. And let me tell you what, this thing has tons of survival value. Okay, when you train a detection dog, in case you didn't know it, they're actually looking for some sort of toy. Some sort of toy. Like Cal Dog right here. He just loves this. Like, come on, get in the view there, buddy. Get in the camera. All right, buddy, you're just a big ham anyway. Look at that focus. That is incredible focus. So when you want to train a dog to detect narcotics of any sort, find a cadaver. In other words, you're doing search and recovery. You want your dog to detect ammunition or explosives or electric squibs or non-electric squibs, anything of that sort, you have to have a dog that has two genetically, listen to that, two genetically bound drives. One is prey drive. Prey drive is I see it, I pursue it, and I try and catch it. Okay, so this will be Captain on prey drive. Let me demonstrate. He's gone. I'll get out of the way. He saw the ball fly. He saw it bounce on the ground. And here he comes back with the ball. Okay, now, see that? See that energy for the ball? I'm getting to that. It can go crazy on you if you're not careful with it. Okay, now I'm going to leash him up. Gal dog, leash you up, buddy. Good job. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate what's called hunt drive. Remember, the wolf has to hunt first. Then they have to, and hopefully, at any point during that hunt, while they're coursing across the landscape, they detect the presence of prey. Whether that detection is done through olfactory senses, or whether it's through vision, or whether it's hearing it. But either way, they have to go hunting. So hunting drive is when you don't see the prey initially. You got to go look for it. Okay, so now let me demonstrate that. I'm going to hang on to Captain here. Chuck that ball over there. Okay, landed, smack, right in that soft ground. Let me spin him around a couple times. Come on, cow dog, come on, cow dog, come on, cow dog. Spin him around, kind of get a little disoriented here. Now I'm going to take the leash off. Let's see what he does. I didn't tell him to do anything. Searching for the prey. Using all of his senses. Nose, just picked up a scent raft coming off a scent cone. Boom, bangs it. And now he's coming back. Okay, what that was again, hunt drive. If you're going to have a detection dog, your dog must possess both of those. You can't make a dog hunt for something. You can't. I wish you could. Because over the years, back in the days, for about a decade, I trained hundreds of detection dogs, police service dogs, dogs that can track humans. I was a police canine officer myself for a while. And people would actually come up to me wanting to rehome a 2-year-old German Shepherd, a 2-year-old Belgian Malinois, a very, very nice Labrador. And they would say, Bryan, here, I want to give you this dog because I want it to be a working dog. I wanted to just have a great life serving the community, finding people, finding drugs, everything else. You gonna make it, buddy? Okay, you must have sucked up half the darn force out here. And so I would take these dogs out there in front of their view, and I'd throw a ball, and they would chase it. And sure enough, go get the ball, bring it back. Sweet, you passed test number 1. There's another test. Take that same ball, chuck it in high grass, spin the dog around a couple times, and let it go. Those dogs that went out there and hunted and hunted and hunted and hunted until they found that ball, I said, I'll take them. But the ones that went out there just briefly, then came back and went, you got another ball, Bryan? Because that was gone. No way, I didn't take them. And man, people got really upset. They're going, oh, this thing has AKC papers. It's registered. What are you, a snob? You don't want to take my dog? No, back in those days, I was importing a lot of dogs from Europe, dropping 10 grand on those dogs. So just from a business standpoint, I would have loved to have taken those dogs for free because I'd already had a $10,000 profit. But I couldn't because you can't make a dog search. They have to want to do that. And then there's levels of wanting to do that. There's this casual level, and then there's this full-on tornado out of the jar level, like a sheer wind line coming through. Frenetic, frantic, I've got to have the turbo, and I need it now. And that's what can happen to so many of these dogs that have the potential to do detection work is they're super energetic. They really want the ball. They want that toy at a super high level, and see the toy get scented with whatever it is you want the dog to detect. So anytime a detection dog is working, they're searching for that stinking ball like Captain was. That's what's in their mind. You go up to a car, you got this ball in your hand, and the dog's watching, you go, ready, 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 poof, and you fake them. And the dogs, poof, poof, and immediately they run and they start looking around the car. Because they think you just threw that ball in that car like I just chucked that ball over there and Captain went after it. Yeah, it's kind of like a little sleight of hand thing. And then all of a sudden when they detect the presence of the ball, which would be maybe the ammunition in this case, most of those dogs are trained to do what's called a passive alert, where they sit. Yeah, you don't want them scratching on a bomb, no way. So they sit. And then when they do, you come up from behind them, boom, and suddenly that ball appears. And they're like, wow, and they grab it. It's like the ball just pops out of the darn car, pops out of that box, pops out of that suitcase. Pretty neat, huh? Here's the issue. So many people out there, I don't know where this got put out. I have never determined who was the cause. But man, whoever that was, it caused a lot of grief. Someone determined at some point that you should not do obedience with any sort of detection dog. That will take away and diminish its drive. Same thing for dogs who do protection work, bodyguard type work, criminal apprehension. Oh no, do not do obedience, because that will diminish its drive. Yet that same person who said that probably competed in tracking, because more than likely it was Schutzen or even AKC tracking, something that they had to do to earn a tracking title on their dog. And I'm here to tell you, when you start getting up there around tracking level 2, tracking level 3, Schutzen 2, Schutzen 3, your dog has to detect an article left on the track, sometimes up to 2 or 3 of them. And they cannot mouth it. They have to lay down or use some sort of detection to let you know, I just found this darn thing. And then the judge looks at you, allows you to go pick it up. That is obedience. That is obedience. And yet you're using obedience on a dog that you can't use obedience to make it find something, to make it track someone or follow a trail. So in my opinion here, breaking this thing down, I think we have a couple things. I think we have a fantastic detection dog. We have a dog who wants this thing like no tomorrow. And that is great, because that's a dog that's willing to work until they drop. Yeah, 1 car to search, piece of cake. 50, nothing to it, buddy. I'm after it. 100 degrees out here, I'll go till I start panting. When I start panting, I don't smell anymore. That's a great dog. It's awesome. But that dog also has an endless supply of energy to do that. Captain would chase that ball till he died if I let him. And when you have that, you have to put control on it so you can focus it, harness it. Don't waste the energy. So if I had this dog, here's a couple things I'm teaching right off the bat. Right off the bat. I'm teaching out. Drop it. Leave it. Don't even touch it. Like right now, if I take this ball out, right here. Okay, let me back up here so you can see it. I'm going to drop it right here. He knows. Come on. Get the ball. Attaboy. Out. Leave it. Down. Good. I'm going to control that energy. Control it. I don't take away from it. Breathe. No way. How can you take away from it? I just told you it's genetic. It just had variations of genes X, Y, and Z that some dogs just don't have. All dogs have, by the way, the desire to hunt for something. Yeah, you quit feeding your dog and you hide your food around your house, and trust me, they'll start to hunt for it. But some dogs have it no matter how much food you feed them. And because they have that, doing obedience, making them drop it, leave it, making them come away from it, all of these things, that doesn't take away from that drive. If anything, it gives them more of a reason to do the obedience. If I lay down, maybe I'll get to go after this darn ball. If I sit, after all, those same detection dogs, I had to make them sit. Yeah, when you found that ball, you sit. When your butt hits the ground, that's when the ball pops out of that car, pops out of that box, pops out of that luggage. This dog appears to be, only for what's written, and I could have this thing completely wrong, I'm only going by what I read to you, appears to have not had enough obedience while it was doing detection work. And that is a mistake that so many people make. My gosh, it's apples and oranges. Just because you can drive a car doesn't mean you can fly a 747. It's that different. There's completely different behaviors, different skill sets. And all you do is you blend them together when you want to, because you are the dog's owner and you are supposed to be in control of this situation, not the dog. No dog's going to tackle me just because you want something that smells like your toy. Not happening. And chewing up the guns, again, that's called object play. What do you do with object play? When you discover a novel object, what do animals do? They think, what can I do with it? What can I do with it? That thing could be a stick, it could be a leaf, it could be a rock, it could be pistols brought in from a shooting range. And what do I do with it? I push it, I throw it, and I shred it and tear it up. That's what they do. So this is a control issue. All day, every day. I'm totally discounting the boarding. Care less about that. The oldest dog, I don't care. Had nothing to do. You weren't doing detection work in those cages, I'd have to assume. And move to the new house, yeah, you could be off tilter a little bit for a while until you seek out the rules of prediction and control that accompanies any animal and any human being whenever they find themselves in a novel environment. You could be the same thing. But this is control. When you have a detection dog, you have a dog that wants a ball like him, he'll go crazy. He'll absolutely just go crazy. He'll just pick this thing up, he'll thrash it, he'll go crazy. You just gotta get him focused. Focus. Settle down. Drop down. You get too high up. Remember I've talked to you before about the stress response? The physiological stress response? Who gets that? Who's that happen to? Both the wolf, who's starving, who's hungry, who's got incredible hunt and prey drive, and also the prey itself. So therefore, with both of those, if your stress response goes too high at any given moment, you will become immune to any other input. Laser focus, like a tunnel. You become immune. You don't hear heel, sit, down, stay, drop it, leave it. You don't. So make sure if you ever teach your dog anything like detection work, or you're just playing with the ball, you're playing fast or what, tug of war, doesn't matter. You control it. Keep that drive at a level that is controllable. And when you start doing that consistently, then the animal adjusts its pattern of behavior around whatever it is that you want them to go find. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that was there you go. Again, I get to come up with what I predict is the approximate cause of the behavior, and that's what I did. How did it evolve? It just evolved from a dog getting introduced to a toy that smelled probably like gunpowder, smokeless powder, probably no pet nor RDX in it, just usually found in squibs, no composition 4. And now all of a sudden when that's around, then I'm going to go crazy, because if Captain, for example, he even sees me throw a ball in the back of my vehicle, oh, that's it. I have to immediately, it's quiet and down in the back seat, because he'll whine, he'll pace, he'll be trying to get into the back of the SUV to get to the ball. He's that crazy over a ball. Captain, even though he's a herding dog and they're mostly make use of their eyes, he will still make a great detection dog. In fact, because of that reason, because he is a herding dog and people don't think herding dogs can do tracking, I'm going to use Captain to show you guys how to train your dog to track. Okay, that's it, guys. Hope you learned a little something there. Detection work's great. I'm going to be covering a lot of detection work, and a lot of tracking here coming up here. I hope to do it by the end of the week. I'm going to be back in Memphis, maybe on Thursday. That's the plans right now, but I got some business deals going on around here that we've got to wrap up here. And as soon as I get those things done, then I'm going to head back to Memphis, rejoin my family, my team there at our facility in Memphis, do some work with them, and then we're going to head back out here towards the end of this month. And hopefully I can do my tracking when I'm back there. Okay, I'm out of here. All right, Cal Dog, one more throw, buddy. One more throw. Actually, it'll be a couple more, but that was only one more for you. Have a great day, guys. See ya.